From a dark, silent night on the Gulf of Aden to sudden panic and explosions. He thought he was in control, but a hidden Navy warship had other plans. And the results were catastrophic. It was 2:05 in the morning in the Gulf of Aden, where the Red Sea squeezes into the Indian Ocean. The sea was calm, the sky was black, and somewhere out there, a Somali pirate mothership was making the worst mistake in its entire criminal career. Inside that ship, a lone radar operator stared at a blurry screen. His outdated equipment revealed a long, slow-moving vessel, at least 300 meters in length, gliding at just 12 knots. A perfect target. A tanker that size could mean millions in ransom. To him, it was the catch of a lifetime. What he didn't know, what the radar couldn't possibly show, was that this wasn't a helpless merchant ship at all. The tanker was actually USS Portland, a San Antonio-class warship running one of the boldest bait operations the U.S. Navy had ever attempted. Every angle, every panel, every beacon had been altered to look like a rusting civilian vessel drifting through pirate territory. The pirates thought they had found easy prey. In truth, they were heading straight into a trap made to catch them completely. Not even 3 minutes passed before the mothership dropped 5 high-speed skiffs into the water. Thermal imaging on Portland lit up instantly, each skiff packed with 8 to 10 armed men carrying RPG-7s, PKM machine guns, and AK-47s. Radio intercepts made their plan crystal clear. Board the ship, overwhelm the crew, take hostages, demand a fortune. This wasn't petty robbery, this was organized maritime terrorism. Through binoculars on the pirate mothership, the tanker looked harmless, slow, high sides, no visible weapons. A perfect victim. Even the AIS signal, supposedly unchangeable, showed the presence of a Liberian-flagged tanker in the area. Everything matched. Everything looked easy. But Portland had been preparing for this for 72 straight hours. Her real radar was powered off. A fake civilian one stayed on. Visual weapon mounts were hidden behind temporary panels. Some crew members wore civilian clothes, and the navy gray color had been disguised beneath rust-colored plates to mimic years of awful maintenance. Inside, however, 220 Marines and sailors sat fully geared, watching every movement. In the launch bay, an MH-60S Seahawk waited with rotors folded, and below deck, missile cells were quietly online, though no one expected to need them tonight. At 2:08, Portland cracked the pirates' encrypted radio and heard the final attack order. The 5 skiffs widened into a pincer formation and pushed into top speed. Captain Sarah Mitchell, calm and steady, watched their approach on thermal. She gave the quiet order that shifted the ship from pretending to preparing. Weapons hold, hostile fire or inside 500 meters. The crew answered immediately. Everything was set. Before this turns into all-out chaos, make sure you're locked in. Hit that like button and subscribe, because what happens next flips the entire battle in seconds. Keep watching. The skiffs closed the distance fast. At 1,000 meters, faces became clear. Young men, fueled by adrenaline, convinced they were moments away from hijacking a rich tanker. At 800 meters, Portland's mask finally dropped. Her captain gave the words. Activate warship profile. Operation Steel Trap. Execute. In less than a heartbeat, the deception vanished. Hidden panels slammed down. The 25mm autocannons rotated outward. The ram launcher unfolded into view. The navigation light switched from a soft civilian white to a harsh military red. Then, the most blinding flash of all. Massive LED spotlights flooded the sea with daylight-level brightness. Everything the pirates thought they knew about the tanker evaporated in an instant. Chaos exploded in the skiffs. The lead operator jerked the wheel, nearly flipping his craft. The formation disintegrated. Confusion erupted across all 5 boats. Then a voice thundered from the Portland's loudspeakers in Somali, Arabic, and English. "Attention, pirate vessels! You are approaching a United States Navy warship. Stop immediately. This is your only warning." For 3 long seconds, nothing happened. Shock froze them in place. Then, one pirate panicked and fired an RPG. A streak of smoke tore across the water. That was the moment everything changed. "Hostile fire," the tactical officer announced. "Weapons free," Captain Mitchell answered. "Engage." Portland's forward 25mm cannon roared to life, tearing through the night with a sound like metal being ripped apart by a giant. The targeting system locked onto the RPG-firing skiff with surgical precision. High-explosive rounds walked across the waves and shredded the boat in seconds. The skiff disintegrated into burning fragments. Fuel slicked across the water. The RPG, thrown wide by Portland's countermeasures, exploded harmlessly 70 meters from the ship. The remaining 4 skiffs panicked. 3 tried to flee instantly. 1 kept pushing towards the mothership 2 miles away. Captain Mitchell didn't blink. "Launch Seahawk. Marines to boarding stations." The Seahawk lifted off the deck within half a minute, swinging towards the fleeing pirates. The door gunner didn't even need to target them directly. Warning shots into the water were enough. Towering plumes shot up in front of each skiff. The pirates got the message. 3 surrendered on the spot. The last skiff tried to run. Portland's second 25mm cannon fired a calculated burst into the water ahead of it, rocking the boat so hard the operator finally killed the engine and raised his hands. Meanwhile, 2 Navy inflatable boats launched from the Portland's stern carrying boarding teams. Within minutes, 37 pirates were lying face down on their own decks, flex-cuffed, terrified, and disarmed. Marines collected their weapons, RPGs, PKMs, AK-47s, and more importantly, seized encrypted radios, GPS devices, and notebooks filled with routes, codes, and schedules. But there was still one more threat: the mothership. At the sight of their failing attack, the mothership tried to run. Captain Mitchell wasn't about to let it slip away. Portland launched a second Seahawk. Both helicopters shadowed the vessel and ordered it to stop or face having its engines disabled. The pirates aboard the mothership made their final mistake, firing 2 RPGs at the helicopters. Neither shot came close, but hostile fire changed the rules. Captain Mitchell authorized disabling fire. One Seahawk lined up a clean angle and released a .50 caliber burst directly into the engine housing. The rounds tore through the stern and thick smoke poured out. The mothership went dead in the water almost instantly. Marines fast roped onto the deck moments later. 22 more pirates were captured, including their commander Hassan Omar, who was later confirmed as one of the FBI's most wanted piracy facilitators. By sunrise, drones were scanning deep inside Somalia, mapping the logistical base of the pirate network. Hours later, 4 Hellfire missiles erased the entire site. Fuel stores, boats, and ammo depots turned into fireballs. Battle assessment confirmed total destruction. By 8 o'clock, all prisoners had been transferred to USS Boxer for interrogation. Every pirate captured that night would face an American federal court, and every pirate in the region would hear the story. As the sun set over the Gulf of Aden, Captain Mitchell watched the captured mothership trailing behind them. The operation had been risky, breaking every rule of caution, but it worked flawlessly. 0 U.S. injuries, 0 real damage, 59 pirates neutralized. The real victory wasn't the firepower, it was the message. You can't tell prey from predator. Any slow tanker could be a trap, any silhouette a warship. In weeks, piracy dropped over 60%. Skiffs approached, hesitated, and fled at the sight of disciplined crews. Operation Steel Trap proved that creativity and deception could turn hunters into the hunted. And from that day on, every pirate in the Gulf of Aden had to wonder, is that ship really a tanker? Or is it waiting for me to make the wrong move?